Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today is a pure stimulus update for you. It is Friday, April 2nd. The IRS has given us another news release, and I want to go through that with you because you know the IRS. They could give us anything. They could tell us the stimulus isn't coming. We made a mistake. We were off. So let's go ahead and find out what they just said. So we're on irs.gov, and here's the news headline. It says IRS Treasury disperse more economic impact payments under the American Rescue Plan. Total tops 130 million, with more to come. Okay, that's good. 130 million still means that there's tens of millions of more individuals who need their economic stimulus payment. I'm just going to go through this quickly with you. There's a part of it where I'm sure most of you are going to be interested in it, especially if you have not seen your economic stimulus payment. But they are talking about certain groups of people that they haven't addressed much in this update, which I want to share with you because you might be a part of that group as well. So just going through the first part here, it says, today the Internal Revenue Service, United States Department of Treasury, and the Bureau of Fiscal Service announced they are dispersing several million more payments, actually 4 million more payments to a certain group, and you'll see who they are, in the third batch of economic impact payments from the American Rescue Plan. This brings the total dispersed so far to more than 130 million payments worth approximately $335 billion. Again, that still leaves tens of millions, if not 30 million or more people that need a payment. As announced on March 12th, economic impact payments will continue to roll out in batches to millions of Americans. The third batch of payments began processing on Friday, March 26th. This is the really important batch, the one that's supposed to include Social Security, SSI, SSDI, RRB, low income, some individuals, not VA though. They say here that those began processing on Friday, March 26th with an official payment date of March 31st. Well, that doesn't fit with the Social Security group, so which group are they really talking about here? With some people receiving direct payments in their accounts earlier as provisional or pending deposits by their bank. The bank is forwarding them the money earlier. Here's additional information. I would like some additional information about this group because this seems a little unusual, a group that we haven't heard much about. In the bullet points, you can see this batch includes the first of ongoing supplemental payments for people who earlier in March received payments based on their 2019 tax returns, but are eligible for a new or larger payment based off of their recently processed 2020 tax returns. These plus-up payments could include a situation where a person's income dropped in 2020 compared to 2019, or a person had a new child or dependent on their 2020 tax returns, and other situations. So these plus-ups, we've heard of the plus-ups before, but they weren't addressed so specifically as to knowing exactly when this money was going to be given out. And so they were a part of this group of 4 million who were processed with an official payment date of March 31st. Second bullet point. These payments announced today also include payments for people whom the IRS previously did not have information to issue a payment, but recently filed a tax return and qualified for an economic impact payment. Payments to this group and the plus-up payments noted above will continue on a weekly basis going forward as the IRS continues processing tax returns from 2020 and 2019. So if you're a part of a group where you earned less money in 2020 and filed your taxes, and because of that you were eligible for more money, you're a part of this group, and they may have issued a payment to you, but if they haven't, they're saying they will continue to issue out those payments as the taxes are processed in the weeks to follow. Also, if you are a part of a group that should have filed, but you didn't file, but now you have subsequently filed, you're also in this group. As those are being processed, they're issuing out the stimulus payments. Third bullet point. In total, this third batch includes more than 4 million payments with a total value of more than $10 billion. But what about the really big group of Americans that we've all been talking about, the Social Security recipients, SSI, SSDI, survivors, RRB, VA? They are not mentioned here in any of these 4 million people with this processing payment date of March 31st. And this is not the date we heard about for those individuals. The IRS was telling us April 7th. And then we shared with you with a possible payment date of today, actually. If your bank forwards you the money, you might get the money today or tomorrow. Starting Friday, a large set of payments will begin going to Social Security and other federal beneficiaries who did not file a 2020 or 2019 tax return and did not use the non-filers tool last year. So that's today. If you're watching this, I am producing this video on Friday, April 2nd. So the payments are going to be starting to go out to these groups because banks are forwarding the money to them. That might be you. You might want to check your bank account today or the Get My Payment tool. But this is going to people in particular who don't file taxes, which is the majority of individuals who receive some sort of supplemental income through Social Security. These payments will go to Social Security retirement, survivor or disability SSDI, supplemental security income SSI, and Railroad Retirement Board RRB beneficiaries as announced previously. These payments will begin to be issued this weekend with the projection that the majority of these payments will be sent electronically and received April 7th. This is important because the IRS is now confirming their previous projections that the individuals in these groups in this next upcoming large batch are still going to get that payment as they have already announced. They're not changing anything, which is really good. We want to see consistency. We want to see them stand by what they've previously said, and they are in fact doing that. So if you're part of one of these groups, when should you get your payment? Well, you should either get it today, tomorrow, or you should get it Wednesday, April 7th, according to the IRS. In the next paragraph, they say no action is needed by most people to obtain this round of economic impact payment. So you don't have to do anything to obtain it. If you're hearing any information out there that there's something you need to do, there is nothing you need to do. You can check the Get My Payment tool. I will leave you a link to that in the description below. I will also leave you a link to this article if you want to read that as well in the description below to see if their payment has been scheduled. The IRS notes that the Get My Payment tool on IRS.gov will not be updated until the weekend of April 3rd or 4th. Interesting. So, well, maybe it's not as updated. But if it's not updated today, wait until the 3rd or 4th or after the 4th for the Social Security and federal beneficiaries expecting payments next week. That's kind of interesting. So maybe on Sunday, go in, check the Get My Payment tool, and see if it's updated the information for you. The final paragraph here talks about veterans, and it says the IRS continues to review data received by Veteran Affairs VA benefit recipients and expects to determine a payment date and provide more details soon. Currently, the IRS estimates that the economic impact payments for VA beneficiaries who do not regularly file tax returns could be dispersed by mid-April. VA beneficiary payment information will be available in the Get My Payment tool at a future date. So there we go. The IRS is sticking to their previous news release that the Social Security batch, supplemental security income, SSI, disability income, SSDI, survivors, RRB, are going to be going out this weekend, and many are going to get it next week, Wednesday, April 7th. And they're also sticking by what they've said about veterans, which is they're still processing that information. I'm not sure what's going on, if the administration that handles veterans is slower than Social Security and getting the information updated for the IRS and Treasury, but they're saying they're still processing it with a likely projected date of April 14th as the batch that's going to be going out. But that's not a definite by the IRS. They're just saying it's projected to be that, but they will update that. If you want to know officially what your date is, they're saying that they're going to update the IRS Get My Payment tool by April 3rd or 4th, so you can check that as well. But it looks like a majority of you who have been waiting to receive this payment will be seeing this payment within the next upcoming days, at least the next 5 days or so, definitely by Wednesday. We let you know if they changed anything, we would tell you about that, or if they stayed confident in their projections, we would let you know as well. So if you have received, if you're part of any of these groups, go ahead and leave that in the comment section below. It may be helpful for some individuals to see. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know about that as well. I know some people are still concerned about paper checks and the economic impact payment cards and stuff. As far as that goes, the IRS is handling out more direct deposits than anything else. They're saying direct deposits is where they're going with this, and they have been for a long time, but this batch in particular, this is the way they want to do it. However, if for some reason they can't process a direct deposit to you, you will get a check or a card in the mail. You want to make sure that you're watching for that. We've told you before, it'll come in sort of a plain white envelope. You don't want to just haphazardly throw anything away. Open those up, check into them, make sure that you're getting the correct amount of money. And as such, if you have any other questions or anything like that, leave them in the comment section below. We'll try to address those on a future date. As always, thank you for coming along with me. I will catch you all next time.